Welcome back, and now let's talk toothpaste and maybe talk teeth. Sensodyne toothpaste is a dentist's recommended toothpaste for sensitivity, and it works to relieve tooth pain due to sensitive teeth and provides lasting protection all day, every day when used as directed by the dentist. Now we have two dentists in the studio. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Mrs. Dolapo Oyinolasani. Good morning, and Mrs. Sani is a consultant and general dental practitioner. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. And on my side here we have Dr. Davis Iyoha, brand manager, Sensodyne and Parodontax.
That's right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Does Sensodyne really help relieve sensitivity? You're a dental practitioner.
Yeah, I like that question. Well, I have been using Sensodyne for a long time now. I used to have a lot of discomfort, pain each time I take hot, cold, or maybe sour food, sweet food and drinks. And after a while, I was introduced to Sensodyne.
I'll bring that question to you, but I need to first of all ask you to describe what sensitivity is in teeth.
Well, to put it in a layman's term, sensitivity is just the discomfort you feel each time maybe you take hot, cold food, drinks, or maybe something sweet and sour. You feel this discomfort in maybe one tooth, or a lot of your teeth could be involved in this discomfort.
Let me then ask him that first question. Does Sensodyne really take care of sensitivity?
As a matter of fact, Sensodyne it's a clinically proven formulation that helps to relieve the pain of sensitivity, and we put a lot of research behind the product itself because at GlaxoSmithKline Consumer, we are the manufacturers of this brand, and we are a science-driven company. And what we've seen in terms of clinical studies is that for people who use this brand over a period of about 2 weeks, they can begin to experience relief from the pain of sensitive teeth. And perhaps we just introduced another product as well that also works in 60 seconds, Sensodyne Rapid Action, and it does work. It does.
I'm still very skeptical, Dr. Iyoha. But how does this toothpaste work?
Okay.
Especially the one that works in 60 seconds.
Okay, all right. Well, Sensodyne works in a very special way because it's therapeutically formulated. What happens is that Sensodyne goes into the tooth and it helps to soothe the nerves, that are actually the trigger points that cause that short, sharp pain associated with tooth sensitivity. So the one that works in 60 seconds, it works in a similar way, but it also puts like a protective layer over the tooth, So we have a simple test that you could easily try at home. When you use Sensodyne Rapid Action, you could just apply to the area that's sensitive, leave it for 60 seconds, and immediately after you can take something cold, hot or sweet.
And then you see how relieved you are. We will continue this conversation. We'll just take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation about Sensodyne and sensitivity of your teeth.
We're talking sensitivity and what Sensodyne can do for you or for your teeth if you have that symptom. And we were chatting with two dentists, Dr. Davis Iyoha and Dr. Mrs. Dolapo Oyinolasani. Now, Mrs. Sani, are there a lot of Nigerians who suffer tooth sensitivity?
Yes, there are a lot of Nigerians with this problem. We see them all the time
And what
in the
causes
clinic.
it?
A there are lots of causes of tooth sensitivity.
Or to give us the most common causes.
Well, the most common is this increase in consumption of acidic fruit juices that is on the increase now. And you find out that a lot of people consume this. So, and apart from that, you find out that sensitivity to increases with age. As you grow older, you find out there's a lot of gingival recession, and you find out the cervical aspect of the teeth, they become exposed, and the dentin around that area is very sensitive. So it's on the increase actually, and you find maybe 1 in 3 Nigerians.
Oh, that's a lot.
Present with tooth sensitivity.
So how should they manage it, and how can they take care of their teeth when they have this condition?
Well, the management actually depends on the cause of the sensitivity, because there are some sensitivity that are caused by probably trauma to the teeth. And when you find out...
when you say trauma to the teeth, what does that mean?
Trauma, sometimes some people are involved in accidents or maybe fall, and you find there's crack in the tooth, and that crack is like an opening through the enamel, the first layer of the tooth, down to the dentin, which is the real sensitive
that's just beneath the
aspect of the tooth. And not only crack, some people, maybe their toothbrushing habits. Some use very hard bristle brushes, and they kind of think they are not done with washing, except they wash it as if it's a gutter. As if they are washing gutter. Actually, you don't need to put so much pressure when you are brushing the teeth, and the bristles that is recommended is supposed to be the medium or the soft.
So why do people make the hard one then if you're not meant to be using it?
Well, manufacturers know what they are more for profit. So, they just think
there's a market for those.
If you are ignorant and you want to brush your teeth like you are washing a gutter, it's left to you.
Go ahead.
So far, they make their money.
What about things like chewing stick?
That's a local way, and it has not really been proven
that it works or it doesn't work.
But like you find our people, the old people, they actually think unless they chew and chew and chew this chewing stick, they are not done. And really, you can equate chewing stick to chewing tobacco, which is equally as bad as chewing tobacco. Because it's like you kind of put pressure on the teeth. And as you are pressurizing the teeth, you find out that the enamel, the first layer of the teeth, is thinning out. As you keep putting pressure, it's thinning out. And as it's thinning out, you find out that dentin is becoming gradually exposed. So it's like this snuff thing, this tobacco chewing is equally as bad as chewing stick. But our whole people cannot have
fathers. They used it for so many years. They never had Sensodyne.
Well, it's actually attributed to their diet, not really to the chewing stick. It's to their diet. The diet of old is different from the now.
Fast food and all that.
Now.
The diet of the now is a lot of processed carbohydrates, sugar.
All right, let me ask,
and so on.
Let me ask Dr. Davis Yoha then, in terms of usage of Sensodyne, what is the frequency that you would recommend?
Okay, Sensodyne, it's a fluoride-containing toothpaste, even though it's specially formulated for
It has fluoride?
It does, yes.
But didn't they say that fluoride is not good for the teeth?
No, fluoride is actually very good for the teeth. It's quite essential, actually.
You all keep changing. When fluoride first came in the one toothpaste, that was the selling point. It contains fluoride. You just got to use it. It makes your teeth shine. It makes your teeth strong. And then a few years later, you all retraced your steps and said, oh, be careful how much fluoride you put on your teeth. It's not very good for your teeth.
Yeah, I think science evolves anyway, but the content we have in Sensodyne, it's at a level that you can actually use it every day, because fluoride helps to strengthen the teeth. But in addition to that, Sensodyne contains a specific ingredient, potassium nitrate, that actually helps to treat or provide that relief from tooth sensitivity. But in addition to that, with the use of Sensodyne as well on a daily basis, it also helps to combat plaque and resulting gingivitis that could come from plaque accumulation as well. So in terms of usage, it can be used as a daily toothpaste.
Can sensitivity arise from not brushing correctly?
Okay.
Because I know that many dentists talk about how we brush our teeth, and most people tend to brush sideways, and we're supposed to do that.
Does
that
right.
affect your teeth in any way?
Yeah, I think that's a key thing you've called out, and Dr. Sunny made a brief mention of that. The technique used to brush is extremely important. The way the tooth is structured, if you look at it under a microscope, you find out that when you brush horizontally like that, it's more abrasive, compared to when you brush along the way, the molecules are arranged on the tooth itself. So you need to avoid brushing with a hard brush, but at the same time, your technique is important. You brush away from your gums. So if you're brushing your teeth in the upper jaw, you brush downwards. If you're brushing from your lower jaw, you brush upwards, away from your gum, And again, speaking to what Dr. Sunny said as well, you want to use the right bristle toothbrush, and you don't want to use excessive force when you do that, because that's one of the common causes that results in tooth sensitivity.
Okay, you didn't quite answer his question about how frequently. Twice a day? Once a day?
Yeah, twice a day. Twice a day. You can use it twice a day. As a matter of fact, the research we have done on the product itself is that for people who use it twice a day, in as little as 2 weeks, they can begin to experience relief. That's for our general formulation. But for the specific one that works in 60 seconds, you can use that twice a day as well, which is actually recommended.
Okay. Now, since being introduced in 1961, Sensodyne toothpaste has become a well-recognized sensitive toothpaste with dentists around the world. And in the US, 9 out of 10 dentists surveyed recommend Sensodyne toothpaste, and it has been clinically proven to give relief from sensitive teeth. Thank you very much for coming. Doctors Davies Iyoha, Brand Manager, Sensodyne and Parodontax, as well as Dr. Mrs. Dolakbo Oyinlola Sunny, Consultant General Dental Practitioner. Thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure being here.
Pleasure. Sunrise will return in just a moment with yet another